Hey guys, my name's Keyan Houshmand, and in today's video we're going to be checking out the AHM5050 from Audio Assault to see how we can get a really good monumental tone on a budget. Let's have a look. So a question that I seem to get a lot from you guys across all my socials, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or anything, is that basically saying, Keyan, I have a little bit of a budget, I don't have enough money to spend on all the really top tier premium plugins, but I do have a little bit of something, I want to upgrade my tone. What's a good plugin to do that? And the guys at Audio Assault have been doing this for a very long time, and you get a lot of bang for your buck with these plugins. This is a sponsored video. The guys at Audio Assault were kind enough to give me this plugin to try out for you guys so I can make content for you, and they are offering 40% off if you use the code Keyan40 at checkout. Despite all of that, all the opinions in this video are mine and mine only. Trust me, I will not be bothered making a plugin video if I didn't think it sounded good. And I think this sounds pretty good for the amount of money that you pay for it. So without further ado, let's hear it in a mix. But before we get into that, if you guys like this video at any time, please feel free to leave a like and a comment on anything you see or hear. And if you want to see more of this stuff, definitely think about subscribing. If you want to support me directly and get the tabs, stems, DIs, all that good stuff, drum tracks, everything for the song that you're about to hear, definitely check out my Patreon, or you can check out my affiliate links. All that stuff will be down in the description below. So how does it sound in a mix? Okay, so here it is. One thing I'm going to say straight away is that I absolutely love that you can basically take this and resize it to anything you want. You can make it as big as you want. You can make it take up the whole screen in your DAW. Really cool. Not a lot of plugins offer that kind of functionality. It's usually just like different sizes you can pick from. The visuals are really good as well. I really like the way that they look, as well as like the whole intuitiveness of the design of the plugin, where everything's on the top here, and you can kind of adjust everything accordingly. I think it's very easy to navigate. So starting off, you have an input control, so you can determine how much input of your guitar is going into the plugin. Pretty standard stuff. You also have a tuner here, which is handy to have in the plugin. Stomp section, which includes a gate, boost, and drive. And then you got the amp page, and this is really cool because depending on where you put this balance knob, it kind of changes the kind of coloration of the amp. So you change the tubes of the amp. So you have 6L6 on this side and then EL34s on that side. So in my opinion, 6L6s are a little bit more harsher sounding. They're a little bit more modern sounding, whereas EL34 is a little bit more flubby, a little bit more vintage sounding. Across the amp, you have 3 different channels. You have a lead channel, crunch channel, and a clean channel. Your balance control, as I mentioned before, I like to have it somewhere around here. Gain, bass, mids, treble, presence, resonance knob, and a master knob as well. Pretty standard stuff. Going on to the cab section, the guys from Audio Assault did send me the matched IR cab pack for this particular plugin. So all these IRs are matched exactly for this plugin. You can get that as well. And as you can see, when I'm navigating the folders of the cab IR pack, there are so many to go through. So you got all your different speaker types here, and when you click into them, you got all your different microphone types. And then from there, like for example, if I wanted a 57, I have them all here, my 57 DC, B, and A, which are all relative to how close each IR is to the speaker. As you can see, there are 2 different navigation pages here. So it's a dual cab IR loader, and in each cab you can control the high pass filter, low pass filter, pan them. You can set how far they are, how close they are to the speaker, even though you've already picked the IR, which is pretty cool, as well as the angle of it as well. Moving on to the effects section, you get an EQ, a delay, and a reverb, and that's more than enough to pretty much get any sort of rhythm or lead tone that you want. So it's a 9-band EQ, a delay, very intuitive controls, very big, you know, you're not going to get confused as to what you're doing, and reverb as well, where you can set the size, decay, tone, pre-delay as well, which is nice, and mix. The settings tab actually is worth having a look at because these are where your presets are, and you can also have your input routing, so you can choose between left and right or have it in stereo if you're sending 2 different DI tracks into the one plugin, which is very handy to have. You can pick your oversampling rate. At the moment I've got it turned off. If you want that super duper high quality, you can turn it to 16 times. This is cool. You can choose the graphics that it's using, so depending on what system you're on and what might work better, it's good to have that option there if you want to get really nerdy about it. Double track sim is very cool. So when you turn this on, basically what it does is it takes your signal, puts one left, and then puts the same signal to the right, but kind of just alters it a little bit and maybe pushes it by a couple milliseconds, so it gives it that kind of stereo image. Very good to just kind of get a quick idea of what a stereo image of that tone would sound like. So let's quickly go through the preset that I made, the main rhythm preset that I use when I use this plugin. So I've got the gate here, obviously obviously for those tight modern metal tones. I've got the boost disengaged. I have the drive engaged, drive all the way off, level all the way up, and tone not all the way up, just hovering around 7. It's at 7.2. On the amp, I've got that balance between the 6L6 and the EL34, more leaning towards the EL34. I kind of like the mid-range of that a little bit more. I felt like, at least for my guitar anyway, or my playing style, that the 6L6 kind of got a little bit too shrill. So having it on the EL34 kind of mediated that, I guess. Gain at 5.5, bass at 5.5, mids dip back just a touch at 4.8, treble at 5.5, presence at 5, resonance at 5.2. So everything's pretty much dead center, and it just goes to show how good it sounds out of the box, everything dead at noon. The only thing I've really done is turn master down. I like doing that because it gets rid of that, like that power amp saturation type of sound where it kind of flubs everything up a little bit. So I just turn that down and kind of compensate by turning the output up on the top of the plugin here. I've got 2 cabs loaded in the IR section. So I've got the 4x12 UK Vintage 30, pretty standard, and I'm using the SM57B on one and the 421D on the other. The mix between both of these IRs is that it's leaning towards more the 57. I like that sound a little bit more. The 421 is kind of there just to fill everything in. For both the 57 and the 421, I have added a high pass filter at around 65 Hz and then a low pass filter at around 13.4. I do that, at least for this anyway, because I feel like those super high frequencies can make it sound a little bit digital and a little bit fake. So kind of just shelving those off a bit goes a long way, in my opinion. And then I've got just a touch of EQ. I've got no delay and reverb because this is a heavy rhythm tone, so no delay or reverb. But with the EQ, I have dipped 250 just a touch at negative 1.4 dB, and then I've got 4K dip just a touch at negative 0.7 dB. I've also got 8 pushed up at 0.6 just to kind of compensate for that 0.7 and give it a little bit more air. I'm going to stop talking now. I'm just going to play. I'm going to go through some of my favorite presets that come included when you get the plugin, including my own presets that I made, and you'll see the name of those on the screen below. So there you have it, that's the AHM5050 by Audio Assault. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Again, there is a discount code if you use Keyan40 at checkout. You get 40% off, which is absolutely bonkers. I think it ends up being around like $25 or something around that. Very, very, very good value for this plugin. Sounds great, and is a very inexpensive and effective way to level up your guitar tone if you're on a budget. If you liked this video at any time, please feel free to leave a like and a comment on anything you saw or heard. And if you want to see more of this stuff, definitely think about subscribing. Again, if you want to support me directly, you can get the tab stems, DIs, drum tracks, all that stuff for the demo song that you heard in the beginning of the video. And you can also check out my affiliate links. All that stuff will be down in the description below. But until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao.